The Curse of the Werewolf.
In 1961, Hammer Film Productions released their one and only Wolfman movie, Curse of the Werewolf. The film was written by Anthony Hines, who was also the writer on Hammer's Curse of Frankenstein, and it was directed by the legendary Terence Fisher. Now, if you don't know who Terence Fisher is, then you need to lose your status as a horror nerd. Seriously. The film is also loosely based on a novel by Guy Endore called The Werewolf in Paris. And interestingly enough, this is the only Hammer horror film that's set in Spain, and the reason for this was actually forced upon the writers. After Michael Chiaris had the studio backlot dressed for a film about the Spanish Inquisition, a film that never got made due to it being banned by the Catholic Church. Like most of Hammer's previous films, this one was no stranger to the wrath of the British censors, mainly due to the scene involving the servant girl being raped by a werewolf. Somehow they felt it was more acceptable if it was just a crazed beggar who was cursed with the lupine curse, carrying out the heinous act. I don't know. But anyway, the movie was the first film in which a young Oliver Reed would be cast as the lead actor. He played the role of Leo Corletto, though he wouldn't be seen on camera until halfway through the film, but what time he's on screen, he gives a magnificent performance. He makes you feel for Leo's plight, and it wasn't so much scary as it was feeling bad for Leo because he just wanted a normal life, but he can't have that because of the uncontrollable beast within him. Now, speaking of the beast, this movie takes a unique perspective on what causes one to be cursed. Instead, it invokes the much older ideology that a child born on Christmas Day will be the victim of the lupine curse, and the curse was a punishment for committing blasphemy in the eyes of God. Now, the makeup design for the werewolf was inspired by Jack Pierce's 1941 design for Lon Chaney Jr.'s Wolfman. Though I'd say this one is much more frightening. It was just the little touches like the blood-stained fangs and even the blood dripping from the face and chin. It just gave it that little extra. It's even said that Reed would drive home after shooting in the full makeup just to scare other motorists around him. This is a good movie, not great. The movie tends to drag on in certain scenes, almost like it accidentally gets in its own way. It's also painfully obvious that at times Oliver Reed himself tends to overact a lot of the scenes, especially his more romantic interactions with Catherine Feller, who plays Christina. It's sad that Hammer didn't give us much more werewolf goodness, but what they did give us, through its flaws, is one of the best in the werewolf subgenre of horror. And it's definitely a blueprint on how to create a sympathetic character in any film.